With Easter just around the corner, what's the first step to painting any egg? You dunk that egg.
Boo!
You said I had to do it. God, it feels great to have peak Game of Thrones back, doesn't it? I've missed you so much. This one really snuck up on me and ended up surprising the hell out of me. Oh, it's good to have you back. I did not expect to like this show as much as I did. Not at all. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Patrick. I'm a working professional in the film industry, and I'm here to share my unique insights in all things movies, TV, and entertainment news. With the season finale having just aired, I'm here to share my insights on Season 1 of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
Every knight needs a squire, and you look like you need one more than most.
Was that ill-handled?
No.
Right, yeah.
Now, this season is based on a series of novellas written by George R.R. Martin himself, the original author of Game of Thrones. These are The Hedge Knight, The Sworn Sword, and The Mystery Knight. Now, I haven't read them myself, but having seen Season 1 and being such a fan, I feel compelled to pick them up while waiting for Season 2.
I am an impatient motherfucker.
Like so many of you guys, I was a massive fan of Game of Thrones. I mean, I hosted watch parties every week. Themed beer, wine, mead. We dressed up. I read all the Song of Ice and Fire novels. I collected the little pop figurines. Yeah, I was a nerd.
You got me, okay? I'm a nerd. Fine.
You know, thinking about it now, Game of Thrones may have been one of our last true water cooler shows. I mean, it was one of the last things where every single one of us were collectively watching and we had to discuss it with each other every single week. Thinking back, I cannot think of another series that had such a massive pop culture footprint before taking such a colossal, embarrassing nosedive in its final season.
Yikes.
The ending left this collective bad taste in all of our mouths. It was so bad that I myself even felt compelled to make a short film comparing the ending of that show to a very bad breakup.
None of it was real!
You can catch a link to that spoof down below. For years, I found it really hard to get enthusiastic about the prospect of returning to the world of Westeros. However, I will say I did find myself enjoying parts of House of the Dragon. That show nails spectacle and world building from the original series, but it also repeats the same mistakes that David and Dan made when wrapping up the ending of their show. Somewhere along the line, they started thinking that all audiences wanted were dragons and White Walkers and huge action sequences and quippy lines. At that point, in my opinion, the series divulged into just some really expensive fan fiction. What many seem to forget is that Game of Thrones was a massive swing for a prestige network like HBO when it first came out. I mean, a high fantasy series was not something their viewership was typically tuning in for. What caught initial audiences off guard was just how well-written, realistic, and character-focused that series was. That's what ended up drawing in millions of people and turned it into the pop culture phenomenon that it eventually became. The dragons, world-ending stakes, and White Walkers were just icing on the cake. Did you guys see what I did there? You saw that? Oh my god, I'm such a fucking nerd. Yeah, I'm not going to stop with the dad jokes. It's just what I do here. Now, I am happy to report that A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is a glorious return to form and remembers why we fell in love with this series in the first place. Dialing back the massive stakes to find something much more intimate and character-focused. Just like the recent Star Wars series Andor, this series narrows its focus to the common folk. These characters aren't Jedi and emperors, kings and queens, but underdogs, incredibly relatable and endlessly endearing, normal, everyday people like you and me. This season, we are introduced to Sir Duncan the Tall, aka Dunk, a somewhat pathetic and dim-witted but noble-hearted hedge knight who may or may not be lying about his knighthood, and his small sidekick, the witty, spunky little squire, Egg, who's hiding a few secrets of his own. The two are hoping to compete in a tourney for respect, honor, and glory, but are looked at as laughingstocks by almost everyone they meet. When circumstances take an unexpected turn, stakes suddenly become life or death, and they realize this is no longer a game.
You think this is a game?
Why, yes I do. It's called Game of Thrones, isn't it?
This unlikely duo are phenomenal together. They each give each other so much shit, but you can see how much they care about each other. I mean, it's a tried and true formula. It's the mentor and the apprentice, the big brother, little brother, a medieval buddy comedy for the ages. It's Lone Wolf and Little Cub, a la Logan, Last of Us, The Mandalorian, but by way of A Knight's Tale, set in the grim world of Westeros. Game of Thrones has always been great at pairing two unlikely characters with one another and just letting the magic happen. This is reminiscent of some of the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones. I'm thinking Arya and the Hound, Jaime and Brienne, Tyrion and Bronn. I mean, the list goes on and on. The actors portraying Dunk and Egg have incredible chemistry, and both are instantly likable. And the supporting cast here is also phenomenal, especially the hateful Targaryen villain and the actor portraying Lionel Baratheon. He's kind of doing a drunken Jack Sparrow archetype party boy in the world of Westeros. It's a lot of fun. Now, what's so great about this series is its bite size. Each episode comes in at about 30 minutes. I found myself really enjoying these lighter, smaller installments. They flew by, and I just always found myself having a good time. The series constantly left me wanting more, and that's not a knock on it. Seriously, I'd rather be left wanting than wishing the series was over sooner, if you know what I mean. If you haven't started the series yet, it's an easy single-day binge, as there's only 6 episodes, basically amounting to one very enjoyable 3-hour-long movie. Sure, the tone here is lighter, more playful and fun, but that's not ever at the expense of the drama. The very fact that the show takes its time to endear us to these characters early on, the stakes later on feel like that much heavier. There's that much more gravitas behind it. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 initially gave me a little bit of whiplash just because I wasn't prepared for the jarring tonal shift. The quick cutaways and comedic flashbacks in the style of Family Guy felt a little jarring at first, though upon reflection, I found it was a breath of fresh air, especially after the dour, depressing House of the Dragon. Now, episodes 4 and 5 are hands down some of the best episodes of Game of Thrones we've ever seen. The reveal that Egg is actually a secret undercover Targaryen completely caught me off guard and reinvested me in the series as a whole. Dunk's punishment for laying a hand on an evil Targaryen prince, resulting in a 7-against-7 trial by combat, was absolutely sick. The editing, cinematography, sound design, all of it was absolutely incredible and top-notch. It was visceral, it was intense. I mean, you could feel every single blow. The build-up and the battle itself were on par with some of the best the series has ever done. I mean, I'm talking Battle of the Bastards territory. No joke. The fact that you guys will get a kick out of this. For a short time, episode 5 actually became the highest rated episode of television history on IMDb, tying Breaking Bad's Ozymandias with a 10.0. Funny enough, this pissed off the Breaking Bad fandom so much that they began review bombing A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And in turn, Game of Thrones fans got upset and started review bombing Breaking Bad's Ozymandias. Now, neither show holds a 10.0, and each are at a stalemate. I think they're resting at around like a 9.7. Man, the internet is such a strange and petty place. Oh, wow. Now, the season finale follows the tradition of other Game of Thrones seasons, with the penultimate episode being your huge showcase, while the finale typically is just tying up some loose ends. This year was no different, focusing on the aftermath of the battle and setting up characters for their future journeys. I really enjoyed the ambiguous revelation that Dunk may not, in fact, have been knighted by Sir Arlen. That was a powerful new ripple to the story. And Egg's decision to lie to his father about having permission to squire and instead running off with Dunk was a really fun way to wrap up the series. I found it to be a cathartic and satisfying ending for Dunk and Egg and left me with a massive smile on my face. George R. R. Martin has stated he enjoys writing these characters so much that he plans on focusing all of his writing for the foreseeable future on more tales of Dunk and Egg, rather than completing his Song of Ice and Fire series and Winds of Winter. We all know deep down he's never going to finish that series. While this undoubtedly is going to disappoint some longtime fans, I for one am all for more stories with these delightful characters. All right, pros. More intimate, playful story, brutal character-focused action, and we only have to wait 1 year until we get season 2. Cons. Shorter episodes in season, comedy's a little bit jarring at first, and we have to wait a whole nother damn year until we get another season. Come on. I'm ready for it now. Overall, I found this show to be a really pleasant, heartwarming surprise. If you felt you had been previously burned by Game of Thrones and were hesitant to check out any of the spin-offs, I say give this one a go. It's well worth your time. For what this series was, I'm happy to award it my highest honor. This here is some Westerosi absolute cinema. If you like this video, consider becoming a Sun Up Cinephile by liking and subscribing. And tune in every week. I'll be giving my unique insight into discussing the latest in movies, TV, reviews, breakdowns, and entertainment news. Are you more of a dunk or an egg?